How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Proverbs 1 and 22. How long will we continue to fall for the okey doke as it relates to black votes? You see, right now politicians are rallying about to get the black vote because they know they can depend on the black vote, because when black people stand behind you, they are behind you all the way, and they go all the way to the end with you. Look at those who support number 45, despite everything that he's shown and proven, despite the national embarrassment that this country has become. He still gets support from the black community because black people are loyal to everyone but their own. And so you have men out here saying that Trump is the first black president. Never thought I'd hear a black man say that, because I thought they would be at least awake enough, not like the Diamond and, the little duo, the two women who just, despite what Trump does, they are behind him. Diamond and can't think of her name. Now, I fully expected it from them, but a black man who has fallen for the okey doke? I guess there are quite a few who believe that number 45 has been good for the black community. And so right now we have other politicians who are running for the office of the president, and they are rallying for black votes as well. As usual, promises are being made, discussions are being had, and our people somehow believe that a discussion or a promise this time around is going to result in something good for them. And thus far, we haven't seen anyone keep any promises made to our people. Anyone, not anyone. Now, I find it amazing that Obama would be the closest thing to a black president that we have had, but not even he was to the liking of our people. And this is not an endorsement of him at all. I'm just making a point that the expectation is that someone is going to or supposed to jump through hoops for us, right? It's as if we don't understand that no one is going to jump hoops through us, period, ever. Now, because Bill Clinton was one who liked to hit the reefer or whatever they call it from time to time. He liked to get that puff of smoke. And he played the saxophone. You had black people who felt that was enough to give him his black card, his black seat at the table, right? Despite everything that he did and did not do for so-called black people, none of that mattered. They liked how cool he was. Yeah. And now you have all these other people making promises. You have those who are for Bernie Sanders, and you have those who are leaning towards Biden now. Others, before they fell out of the race, were starting to get a second look from the black crowd because of things that they were saying. Our people don't understand, regardless to who you vote for, regardless to who makes promises to you, there is nothing that's going to be done of any type of significance for our people in the land of our captivity. And so while you're out here casting votes for people who can care less about you, your life, your family, your situation, you're being used. But I'm going to read this passage, just a portion of this passage again. It says, "How long, ye simple ones, will ye love your simplicity?" You're being used. They want votes, and so they make promises because they look at us as children. It has been said many times that they consider us to be children, very youthful minded, simple minded. There was one Republican that called so-called black people simple-minded darkies years ago. You see, and so this is because they have studied us for so long. They know what causes us to react, right? This is why they have those push-button topics during the election. The same thing: promises, 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 right? There's always this talk and this chatter about reparations because our people love to look at unrealized victories, where people are making promises to do this, that, or the other and never follow through on those promises. They never follow through on those promises, but for us, for some of our people, hearing it is good enough. And so here we go with the push for the black vote. Everyone who I can't say gets a seat at the table, because some people don't even get a seat at the table or ask for it, but they are getting things that they want for their communities. And we are the only ones that are not, because we don't understand prophecy, right? If you understood prophecy, you wouldn't even be asking for anything, right? You would just do what you're supposed to do, which is repent and turn from your wicked ways, and then you will start to see the Most High move and work on our behalf, right? Again, I often like to say that I understand there are people on this channel that follow this channel who don't believe in some of the things that we talk about on this channel as relates to biblical prophecy. But if we could just sit down, if some of us could just sit down and have a conversation, and you can let us show you some things, you would be thoroughly convinced when you line up what is unfolding that was already foretold, right? These things are so very clear, so very obvious, and they are happening. And it's unfortunate that the tamperings of our historical text has caused a lot of people to not want to accept it. And I can't say that I don't understand, but I don't think that our people should just throw out this information without first trying to get an understanding. And I don't mean get an understanding from your pastor. I don't mean get an understanding just from reading. You have to study. You have to research. You have to, in some cases, consult with someone who has a deeper or greater understanding and compare notes. But in all thy getting, get understanding. That's the bottom line. So it requires that we seek this understanding before tossing something out, especially something that has such a historical context to it. Now, I feel that in this election season that a lot of things are taking place. I mean, that are outside of the election. You have the impeachment thing that just blew past, right? That's over with now. But you have these plagues, and you have these disasters, and just different things that are happening around the world. These things are happening at such an alarming rate to where everything is being lumped and clouded together. And folk are making promises based on some of these events that they know nothing about. You have number 45 saying that things aren't as bad as that we're being told, and just all this other stuff, even going against his own organizations, And so right now, the minds are clouded with all of the rhetoric of this political time frame that we're in. Everyone's trying to get votes from this person and that group and this demographic. And with all of that being said, black people are in the middle being used as pawns to try to rally. You have this one over here trying to throw a little bit of money into there to convince the black people to, lean in this direction. You got this one over here promising this, and just all kinds of things going on, because they believe that all that is required for the black vote is to say a few words and make a few promises, because they consider us to be simple-minded darkies. There is much more that I can say on this topic. I am going to end it right here. I'm not sure how good this recorded, because my microphone is all the way over here, y'all. But we will see if we can fly with this. But don't be tricked and pulled into all of this nonsense with the Republican or the Democratic Party, okay? Because neither one of them are going to do anything for us except make the same lying promises that they've made for a very long time, because all they want is your vote, but they can care less about you, okay? Let's keep it moving from these people. Don't endorse any of them, okay? Forget about all this stuff about your ancestors died for your right to vote. I'm sorry, but in presidential elections, I don't see where it matters. Maybe on a local level is different, okay, or a statewide level, but definitely not on the national level. So reconsider before you waste your time casting your vote for the lesser of two evils. All right, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.